Good morning, good afternoon, good day. It's nice to be here with you all. We are heading towards, it's Earth Day, and we're really celebrating that we believe that God is green, so to speak, okay? So I'm going to start in Genesis, the very beginning of the story, and we're going to kind of work our way through there and end up landing right in 2023, right here. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Okay, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and now the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God hovered over the water. And then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light was good. And so he separates the light from the darkness. And God calls the light day, and he calls the darkness night. And there was evening, and there was morning, and it was the first day. And then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees and land bearing fruit, and these seeds in it according to their various kinds." And it was so. And then the land produced vegetation, plants bearing seeds. And God saw that it was good. And it was evening, and it was morning, and it was the third day. And now God, the Lord, planted a garden in the east of Eden. And he put man in it. The Lord created all these types of trees that were blessings to the eye. And in the middle of the garden, he planted one tree, the tree of life, with the knowledge of good and evil. And then the Lord God took the man and put him in the garden and told him to till it, to keep it, to take care of it. And so in Genesis 2:15, he conveys this marvelous teaching that Adam is expected by God to serve the garden and to keep the garden. That God expects Adam and his descendants to meet the needs of the garden, to keep the garden. The word here in Hebrew, this idea of keeping the garden, shamar, translates guarding, taking the safeguard, to take care of it, to preserve the garden. Shamar indicates a love for the garden, of keeping this. It's like an ancient blessing. This kind of way to preserve it, to keep the energy, to keep it beautiful. That we are called to do this. God says, take care of the garden. And in the center of the garden is this tree of life. And really the word Genesis means origin. See, when we partner with God, God has created this thing and that allows it to create more and create more and to create more and to create more. God's creations create more. And we partner with God to watch over these things, to take care of them, to watch. And at the center of this garden is the tree of good and evil. Because God has respect for his creation. See, God leaves it up to our decision, to make our own decision. Whether we follow God or whether we make up our own rules. See, God never forces God's self on anyone. It's always a choice. And the question is that it is still a choice. It is still a choice. God says you can either do it my way, which is to take care of the garden, or you can do it your own way. We can make up our own. And it's all a choice God gives us. And it's not so much about did this story happen? Did it really happen? It's more about that this story continues to happen. You know, it continues to be our choice take care of this garden. And I don't know about you, but right now in this world, in this time, I need God in my life, and I need God to teach me how to live into this world. I need God to give me some direction of how to love, how to take care, how to watch over this garden. And I run into people all the time, that say to me, they say, Pastor, where do you see God? I don't see God in this. Where do you see God in this? And I look around and I say, man, the world is drenched with God's fingerprints everywhere. The most beautiful things, we walk by flowers and we just don't even stop to look at them. We walk by artwork that's been created and we say, wait, God helped create this human being that creates this artwork. God is around us and drenched in what we see. See, God is the creator who creates a creation that creates. See, I see God's fingerprints all over this world. And maybe it should be said something like this, that God's fingerprints are all over this world, and you can see God's creation creating things that God would want us to do and see. That we actually partner with God in this broken world. That we can actually take an active position in healing this world. And it comes all back to the idea that we are all family, right? We are all children of God. And I would think that we should be concerned about our brothers and sisters, the other children of God, that they are supplied with clean water. Don't you think we should be concerned? It's like our moral obligation to be concerned that these children have clean water. And when we hurt the earth, we hurt the poorest and most marginalized people. See, God is green. And this is God's garden, and we are supposed to take care of it, to do justice for the most poor. This is an inseparable mission that God has given us, that part of the garden, part of us taking care of this world, is this idea that we watch over it. And we have a tendency that we kind of live in a life, it's almost a phantom life, It's separated. It's way back here. It's like we don't really understand where things come from, I mean, it's almost like the earth has this invisibility that we receive. We turn on water and it just comes out of the tap, right? We don't know where it comes from. I got no idea. We end up going to a grocery store when we need food. We've got no idea where it comes from. We just go in the store and grab what we need. We go to the gas pumps and just pump gas out, and we don't have any idea. When it's too hot, we turn on the air conditioner. See, when somebody grows a tomato, and I go and buy that tomato, I don't know really where it comes. I don't know if the kids have a school that they go to. The migrant worker who picked this tomato, does that person, do their children have a school that they can go to? Do they have the ability to make a living wage? Do they have the chance for further education? Because they are children of God. And all I know is my tomato, I get it from the grocery store, and I know nothing about the person who grew it, picked it. I know nothing about them. How they live, or maybe how they don't really live. I have a friend that was in Belize, and it was a poverty issue that he was working on at this point. And there were a bunch of people that they had intestinal viruses, and literally the village is about 600 people. And they used to live mainly in the rainforest, but the rainforest was sold to a large producer of oranges, and they cut all the rainforest down. And these people had to move into an area that they weren't used to, they weren't comfortable with. And the water that they could get was out of the stream that had fertilizer that drained into it. And they got diseases from this. See, this group of people, these Mayans, they had no idea that anyone could own God's land. So they never had anything to say that I own this property. We've been living on it for hundreds of years. And so it was sold out from under them. And now they're living in its sickness all around them. They are truly environmental refugees. See, the really poor of the earth are affected. That's why I refer to the idea that when we shut off God, we shut off God and ourselves from creation. We stop thinking about the idea that there are people out there that are trying to survive with toxic water. They don't have anything to drink. The toxic water makes them sick. They don't have anywhere to wash up. The toxic water makes them sick. The pesticides, the fungicides, they leach into this river. And these people have been kicked off their land. So Earth Day, we now have Earth Week. And we start talking about something we need to be talking about every day. 1970, they started the beginning of Earth Day. We started to realize, hey, we're destroying our planet. And it was at the height of the countercultural, the United States. Jimi Hendrix had just died, and the Beatles had just released their last album, and Simon and Garfunkel releasing Bridge Over Troubled Water. In 1970, the Vietnam War raged, and students nationwide protested. But at that time, we still had giant SUVs with big V8 engines, poured gas into it as fast as we could. Industries belching out smoke and sludge. And they were afraid that if we actually came out and talked about this, it would be bad press for those industries. See, pollution was common at that point, and it still is. But we didn't want to hurt the smell of prosperity for these corporations. We would rather turn our back on the children of God who are barely surviving. You know, I watch bees die. I watch them die and just are amazed that we don't realize that these are so important to our world. But see, there's a voice emerging. In this desert of our environment, there is a voice emerging. And this is not about Republican or Democrat. This is not about being rich or poor city or far. This is about taking care of God's garden. The Lord put man in the garden to till it and to take care of it. Shamar, to guard it, to watch over it. That we have a divine calling to take care of this. And the question I leave you with, are we taking care of God's earth?
Hey guys, we're going to do this a little different. So Pastor Dwayne.
Was that a jump?
It was. It was a jump. I jump, and I like it. I think it's fun.
I just saw a jump. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Earth Day.
Okay, so we got a lot. There's a lot of unpacking in that process. But in the Bible, doesn't it say like God gave us this to
take care of? To take care of. We're supposed to take care of it. That's it. Not abuse it, not destroy it, not rape it, but take care of it and till it. And yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard the argument that this was a gift for us to. It was a gift for us to have, and being a gift, we can treat it with whatever way we want, right?
No. No, it's not yours. It's God's.
Exactly.
Yeah, you are the servant. You're the gardener. You're taking care of it. It's not yours. This is God's garden, and our job is to be in tune with God to help this creation that God created.
Yeah.
And so His creation, which would be the world, has things on it that create seeds and create more and create more. All of His creations have this tendency to be able to create more. And so God has created a creation that can create. And we're supposed to take care of this place. We're supposed to watch over it. We're supposed to make sure that there's clean drinking water for our children, for God's children.
I don't think there's any better way of saying it, is that our job is to take care of, to tend, to
tend.
Yeah, yeah. It is our job to go over and as this earth gives us, and these seeds, they grow into plants and they create food for us. It's our job to go back over to that soil that has been deneutralized, or whatever, it doesn't have any nutrients, and add nutrients back into it and continue to have it grow for our I mean, I would like the world to be happy and successful for my kids.
Well, what I mean,
that'd be awesome.
when you start thinking about what a lot of times we do is a lot of times we destroy things for our own financial benefit, and so we end up destroying them, and then we end up fertilizing, like the orange trees. They just killed the rainforest out in that area, and these poor Mayans who had been living there for their entire hundreds and hundreds of years, now are stuck out of the rainforest, which they know how to function within, and now the water that they get, the water that they drink, the water that they bathe in, is now poisoned. And so there's a point where it's like, do we take responsibility for doing these things to children of God? God has called us to take care of each other, to watch over each other, and so I'm glad we have a week of Earth Day. Great, real good. How about 360? Okay? Let's go to the idea that all the time we're supposed to be taking care of this place, and we don't. We let people abuse it. We turn our back to it, and God is saying, listen, it's your choice. I mean, this was the tree of good and evil. Here, you have a choice. You're either going to be in tune with God or you're not. And if you're not, then we need to be planning on what planet do you want to go to?
Exactly. Yeah. That's always my, whenever I help somebody and they're like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." It's like, "Oh, we're stuck here together. We can't escape yet, so we may as well help each other out."
And we don't want to escape. We want this to be the heaven that God originally made it. We want to help heal the world.
Well, the idea is to make heaven on earth.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Talking Patty said that. So,
I gotta go. I gotta run, man. Okay.
Hey,
guys. I love you. Take care, guys.
Yeah, be safe. Hey, if this message meant something to you, and it better because we're all stuck on Earth, don't forget to like and subscribe, because we try to share as many messages in our world that we need to make this world better. As a church, we're supposed to help, not 1 hour a week, but all week long. So share this. Share this. People need to hear more, especially in the faith community. We need to do better than this, guys.
And a couple things. I want to end on these couple points.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yes, please.
And that is that there are some things that are very simple that we can do. Okay.
Okay. What are those things?
Real simple things. And one of them is like when you're brushing your teeth, turn the water off. Okay. I know people that they're like full out water and they brush their teeth and they're just brushing. Yeah. Save the water. Okay. Get lights, change your lights out so that they're the
LEDs.
LED lights,
They'll
Save
last
the
a lot
electricity.
longer too.
There are all sorts of things, and we're going to give you a list at the end of the service of some things that you can do that can be simple, easy, one step. Pastor Dwayne, I can take one step. Okay, that's it, one step. Think about reducing the ability to plastic.
Bring bags with you to the supermarket.
I mean, there's so many things we can do. Just easy steps. Okay? Good?
Peace and grace, guys.
Peace.